you asked that question, like, did he ever take you serious? I think it stems from that as I've grown up on the internet, I've always looked for different masculine role models to listen to. There's been like all the types of online podcasters, comedians. I've looked at them for some sort of inspiration and to get some life advice and to learn from. But within all my conversations with Destiny, I never learned anything. I never took anything like, this is something I want to emulate. This is something that I can use in my life. This is something that I've learned. I could say that from a year of conversations, it's like nothing changed from talking. It's actually the opposite. True. Talking to him pushed me.
I think for people like Sneako, the things that these people are looking for is they're constantly looking for like the next scam, the next like one thing to answer like all of my life's problems, and you're not gonna get that from me. And I understand that for people that talk to me, it's a pretty unsatisfying thing, because like people want like the one answer for everything. They want the one thing that solves all their life problems, but no. But that's why he bounces around from scam to scam to scam to scam to scam, right? From red pill to tradcon to Muslim to from Patrick, whatever the comedian is that convinced him to do the thing with his girlfriend, to Zerka to Dawson. Like he's always looking for like the one answer. Is it the Matrix? Is it Muhammad? Is it like, yeah, it's just from thing to thing to thing. So that's not surprising to me that he would think that way.
Me further to God, like seeing what they defend and their belief system and what they and how they live. I'm like, okay, God must be real, because these people are so confused that must give more validity to these books that were written 1400 years ago. So, and the reason that I like went to the swinger party, which people always talk about, is because Patrice O'Neal, I looked up as a masculine role model, and that was his ideal form of a relationship. At the end of the day, the guy was, he never really wanted to self-improve, and so that's why he went to swinger parties. But I look at guys, I've taken advice from guys like Tate, from Jesse Lee Peterson, from the Fresh and Fit guys.
Jesse Lee Peterson? Bruv.
From,
yeah,
I guess politically, but yeah, there's a lot of things that I have learned about him, and also like how he views as a giant waste of time, which it inherently is. There's nothing you are accomplishing, and guys like him, you see him as the example of being the change that you want to see in the world. If you think the world needs a lot of fixing, then you need to be that change, and not a lot of people live exactly by that code. Other than somebody like him. So I've taken a lot of advice and I've learned from a lot of people.
Cool with Destiny. I haven't
learned anything from him.
I have a sneaky suspicion that you realize something that I started noticing the more I seen y'all do content together. I think you had a lot of admiration for him, a lot of respect. No.
And I didn't have mutual respect for him. That's actually, if that's what he's gonna say, that's fairly insightful. That could be a thing, is that Sneako was upset that the street way is saying that I little broed him all the time, but that like Sneako might have had some respect for me, but it didn't feel very mutual, and that maybe upset him. That could be the case. I wonder if that's what Ak is about to say. I don't know why I just cut this off. I should let him finish.
I think you had a lot of admiration for him, a lot of respect. No. Whoa.
First willingness to engage in debate and conversation. Yeah.
Well. In terms of friendship, and I think you seen that it was definitely not reciprocated. Like, I remember just watching many different clips where it, like, obviously you had your own opinion, and it felt like it was just a pile on you. And I think you went through a moment of saying, yo, y'all are trying to make it seem like I'm like the degenerate, but like y'all don't want to hold the mirror up to yourself. Mm-hmm. And I guess that's where you're talking about like his lifestyle. And I thought there was a little bit of hurt in terms of just on a friendship level where you would be like, hey, listen, if we're cool and I accept you for a lot of the degenerate things I believe that you're doing, you wouldn't be trying to morally stand on the high ground when it comes to me if you thought I had shortcomings, even if maybe I don't think those are shortcomings. And
I see what you're saying.
It felt like they were just trying to throw you, or he was trying to position you as this is Sneako, the hypocrite or the bad guy. And it was one of those things you're like, no, because if we're going to tell the truth, let's tell the whole truth, right? Like, you know what I mean? I'm that guy too. Hey, if we're going to tell the truth, let's tell the whole truth. I always tell people, I'll expose me to expose you. Don't come over here and just be like, oh, Ak is the bad guy. He does this and does that. But you don't really tell the truth about even yourself. Mm-hmm. And now, I think you got there, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. I think you got there and you were just like, it's not even a balanced and even like relationship worth keeping. And I don't know what the straw that broke the camel's back, but you know, it clearly you guys separating what was used as basically saying it's not it.
I think that there could probably in the future. I mean, this has happened a couple times in the 1 year that I've made content with them. So in my opinion, I don't see it as like a falling out forever. Guys like him are kind of addicted to the drama of relationships and the ups and downs.
But things go too far.
Yep.
Like, people thought me and Fresh fell out, right?
Right. People think me and Fresh fall out too.
But that's like so different though, right? It's like, hey, we have a difference of opinion, but like that's still my guy. Mm-hmm. And
Sneako advocates for his lifestyle where you don't. That's interesting. Yeah, it's always the hard thing, because for these guys, they feel like their entire life has to be copied. Like that was one of the things that Sneako said was really telling when he was criticizing Charlie. He was like, what life advice does Charlie offer you other than to play video games? Like, bro, Charlie's just a YouTuber. Not every single person on the internet has to be your daddy. Some people just like want to play games and like chill, and that's it. That's like, for me, I'm here to sell people ideas relating to like epistemic stuff in politics, right? How do you gather truth? How do you tell what's real? How do you do good research? How do you make good political arguments? Generally, that's all I'm here to sell. I'm not here to sell you a lifestyle. I'm not here to sell you a rainbow. I'm not here to sell you like, oh, be an atheist, blah, blah, blah. Like, there are thought processes that I have that I think are really good that I wish other people would kind of copy. That's basically all I'm here for. But for Sneako, like, that's not enough. You've got to be selling him literally the secrets to the universe. You have to be selling him like every single possible thing that you could ever offer somebody. And like, yeah.
I feel like you and Destiny, it's very, basically like you're telling the world like, yo, he has a kid that he's neglected.
But he's not really like, it's not a secret. It's just the truth. If you're gonna get on your moral high ground, like, what is your life secret?
Because
that's the difference. I'm not on a moral high ground. It's pretty rare. Like, I'll pass judgment on people politically. Like, we'll fight. Like, this opinion is shit. This guy does bad research. Blah blah blah. But in terms of like, are you living a good or a bad life? I mean, if somebody somebody, sure. But like, otherwise, I've said like, some people can be religious. Some people can be monogamous. Some people can be whatever. You know, like, I think some things are kind of dumb. But like, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life in that way. Like, that's on you. Figure it out. But the difference is Sneako is here to tell you who is the one true God, how should you live your life, what's degenerate, what's whatever. Like, I don't call people degenerate unless you're actually being like or something, right? I'm not here to call you. As long as you stick to yourself, you do your own shit. Like, yeah, do what you want. That's why he likes Brittany Simon, right? He probably likes Brittany because Brittany probably doesn't hold up accountable for anything, and lack of accountability is a red pillar's best friend.
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye. Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.